So one of the drawbacks to doing the overnight show is we usually don't get to give anything away. And that sucks. Those daytime shows get to give stuff away. But every once in a while, they throw us a bone. So some exciting news here that I want to pass on. And it's not just our show. It's all of Fox Sports Radio. But they included our show. How nice of that is of management to include our program. So Fox Sports Radio has teamed up with our friends at tirerack.com. You hear us talk about tirerack.com a lot. It's a good company. They've got a good product. Everyone needs tires these days, right? And that's just the way it is. And so to give away a set of 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, a set of 4 brand new tires. How cool is that? Yeah. Valued at up to $1,500 every 2 weeks. So it's not just a one-time giveaway. No. Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks during this summer. And that's right, 3 lucky listeners will receive a set of 4 tires plus installation, taxes, and fees, valued at up to $1,500. And it can be yours. Right? Yeah. It's the Summer of Tire Rack Sweepstakes. Enter daily at foxsportsradio.com to increase your chances to win. Yes, you. Not him or not him. They're not eligible. But you can register to win every single day to improve your chances. A winner will be selected every 2 weeks between now and August 27th for a set of 4 brand new tires. Here's the key part. Listen closely. To enter, here's what you do. All right? Get the rules and enter. Visit foxsportsradio.com. And I would really like somebody that listens overnight to win, because it would upset management greatly if that happens. So I'm pulling for you, the overnight nocturnal listener, to win these tires. It's sponsored by tirerack.com, the way tire buying should be. Again, if you want to enter, foxsportsradio.com, enter every single day, all summer long, and you can smell the rubber of brand new tires. And you can thank your friends at tirerack.com and Fox Sports Radio. All the Yankees continuing their Western sojourn. They have stopped in Anaheim this week, hanging out at Disneyland. Another night and another L for the Halos. Shohei Ohtani, an RBI triple. The Angels cruising past the Yankees 5-1. A game the Angels never trailed, lighting up the scoreboard there, and the halo at the Big A. But the better story is in the losing locker room. The last place Yankees. It has been literally a generation, over a generation. Generations 25 to 30 years, depending on how you do the math on that. But about 25, 30 years. It's been 32 years since a Yankee team was in last place in the American League East this far into the season. And you know what that means. Well, maybe you don't know what that means, but that means there are whispers and people blowing into microphones about the status of skipper Aaron Boone. It's bubbling up around baseball. Would Brian Cashman do the unthinkable? Would he do the unimaginable? Is Aaron Boone in trouble in the Bronx after all these years as Yankee manager? Inquiring minds would like to know. And so that's the whisper. Now, Boone is at the very front of the dugout. He's the one, supposedly, that's in charge. We know he's not. But he's the one that's being credited with guiding the Pinstripes through the rocky road ice cream that they're in right now. So let us discuss the question. Should Aaron Boone be looking over his shoulder when it comes to his status as the Yankees manager? So I've got Teflon, Hiccup, and Nitty Gritty. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a migraine headache, which is what many people that like the Yankees have, watching the Yankees attempt to swing the bat. Swing bada, and a swing and a miss, a swing and a miss. So number one. To answer the question, should Aaron Boone be looking over his shoulder as Yankee manager? The answer is yes. He ought to be updating his LinkedIn page, trying to get his job back at ESPN, but I think they've fired everybody. I don't know if there's any jobs left over there. $280 million payroll for the New York Yankees. $280 million payroll. They are a last-place team. They are over 500, but only a few games over 500 now. They're only 4 games over 500 as the time we are talking to you in this moment, which is not that much. They're only a few games above the Angels in the overall standings when you look at that. Last place in the American League East. But the reality is, while Aaron Boone should be concerned right now that this might come to an end, this fairy tale ride as Yankee manager, Aaron F. Boone, it's going to end. The reality is that Aaron Boone walks around the Yankee dugout and the clubhouse there in the Bronx and sounds like a guy who knows he's the Teflon Don. He knows that he's got nothing to worry about. He's in there humming a few bars of Hakuna Matata, right? He's going on and on from the Lion King there, Hakuna Matata, doing his thing there. No worries, no problems, that whole deal. And this is a different era in the Bronx. We've said this for years, and the fact that Aaron Boone is not in any danger, is proof that this is a different era in the Bronx, that he's a protected interest at this point. It's all about the process. It is all about the process. You got to follow the battle plan. And Aaron Boone right now has a duffel bag of excuses. He does, right? Well, we didn't have Carlos Rodon for a while. He's come back and been terrible, by the way, since he's come back to the Yankee rotation. Nestor Cortez has been out for an extended period of time. Then you got the big one. Oh, my toe! Oh, my God, my toe! It hurts so much, my toe! Aaron Judge, injured by an inanimate object at Dodger Stadium. He's such a klutz that he injured his toe and has missed over a month. The Yankees claim that Aaron Judge is going to be back in the lineup, but the only way, he'll be back soon, but the only way that Aaron Boone is going to leave his post as the one who's keeping track of the New York Yankees lineup, the only way is if ownership grows a pair and takes a wrecking ball to Brian Cashman. It's going to have to be the daily double. The only way they get rid of Boone, I'm convinced, is the daily double. Now, the Yankees did fire their hitting coach, something they have not done in a generation. So that's a new thing. And it hasn't done anything. The Yankees are 28th in runs per game since early June. Over a month. There's only 2 teams. There's 30 teams in baseball. There's only 2 teams that are scoring fewer runs than the Yankees. That coincides with Aaron Judge being out of lineup. You got other supposedly competent big league players who have no idea how to hit a breaking ball, can't tell the difference between a curveball and a slider. They have no concept, it would appear. And so the only way they get rid of Aaron Boone is if they just blow the whole thing up. And there is a better chance that I end up getting promoted to a high-paying job than that happens. And there's almost no chance of that happening. So, but listen, Aaron Boone at this point, he's like a tenured professor. And I watch these news conferences. It's like, well, we've got the players. You know, you got to say all the positive nonsense. We got the players. We're going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. All right, now turning the page on that. Let's stay in Anaheim, the team that beat the Yankees, the Angels, since the All-Star break. They lost the series to the A-holes from Houston. They've now won the series against the Yankees, even if they lose the getaway game on Wednesday afternoon here. They've already won the first 2, so they've won that series. So at this point, the Angels are 3-2 out of the gates. They're back to 500. The trade deadline is now less than 2 weeks away. So what is the temperature around the Big A when it comes to Shohei Ohtani and the trade gossip that is all over Major League Baseball? So I'm going to tell you that I put some feelers out because I got no life, and I know a few people that they don't like to admit they know me, but I sent some messages out trying to figure out what was going on, try to get some inside skinny here on Ohtani and what's going on, and get the pulse in the room. And so the word that I have gotten is that Artie Moreno, the word is ambivalent. He's ambivalent when it comes to the Ohtani trade. He's not convinced that Shohei is guaranteed to leave like many people in the media are. That's the word that I'm hearing. Now, he thinks there's still a shot that the Angels can keep Ohtani and sign him to an extension and keep him with Mike Trout in Anaheim. Now, many would say that's neurosis, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, that he's not convinced that all these insiders are right, that Ohtani is desperately trying to leave here, that he thinks that this is going to be very similar to Mike Trout. Mike Trout, people thought he was going to go to the Yankees or the Phillies or somewhere else. He decided to stay and re-up and sign a forever contract with the Angels, and just about the time that contract was completed, he was diagnosed with a chronic back injury. So anyway, Artie Moreno is reluctant to also give up on the Komodo dragon in the room. Now, the Komodo dragon in the room, when it comes to the Ohtani story, is the fact that Showtime is on a historic home run pace. That if he were to continue, not get hurt, and continue to hit home runs the way he is, this is a big hiccup for Artie Moreno and the Angels, because he has a legitimate chance to break the home run record, which was just set last year, the American League home run record by Aaron Judge. He's got a great chance of passing that. And who knows? If Ohtani has a ridiculous month of August, you can say that Barry Bonds is in his sight, that the all-time single-season steroid record from Bonds could be taken down there. And Artie Moreno's like, well, wait a minute. This guy could do it as an Angel with that Angel logo. That would be great for my brand. Do I really want to give that up? Win the MVP and all that. Now, the deadline is less than 2 weeks away. And from what I've been informed here, the trade chatter, while it is going on, it is in the embryonic stage. And this is going to go down to the buzzer right there, the final day. It would be surprising if Ohtani's traded before the final minutes of the trade deadline here. And so the Angels owner, the sense is he's sitting on the fence still, that he has a case of selective hearing, Mr. Moreno, the Angels owner there. And I keep going back to the Mike Trout thing. It's like, well, people said Mike Trout was going to leave, he stayed. And Ohtani, people say he's going to leave, and what if he stays? And the Angels think they can make him a competitive offer? I'd love to know what that is. I don't know what that is. What is a competitive offer? The Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees will be interested. The Red Sox possibly as well be interested in Ohtani. So will they find middle ground? But we'll see what happens. But that's the latest, and it's going to be one hell of a sales pitch from the Angels ownership there to Ohtani. And he'll probably have his ears plugged while they're talking. I don't want to hear you. No. All right, final point. So there's a change in ownership in baseball with one of the better teams in baseball this year, the Atlanta Braves. A group called Liberty Media announced a split-off of the Braves baseball franchise as its own publicly traded entity, as in Wall Street. Here we go, Wall Street. Yes, very exciting. Now, we are told, and you know when it comes to finances, you always turn to the overnight radio guy, but we are told that this is essentially a one-for-one swap of existing shares. So is it rational or irrational for Braves fans to be worried about this ownership shuffle? So I say it's rational. Now, I saw the quotes coming out of Atlanta, and they're like, there's nothing to see here. It's just a paper move, nothing big, nothing to worry about. Status quo for the Bravos. That's what the word is. I'm not so sure. To me, the proof is in the pudding. And what kind of pudding are they going to put out there? And the Braves have signed all their key young players to really long contracts. So they're all set up in Atlanta that they've all got team-friendly contracts, even though they're making a lot of money, those young players. The proof is if that continues, if they keep those guys and don't start trading some of those guys away. The problem when you get Wall Street involved, and I know they've still been involved with Wall Street, Liberty Media on Wall Street, but it's a different animal now. And the problem is, do you have to please the stockholders? The reason ESPN laid off all those employees, and people, I knew some of those people that got whacked over at ESPN, is because they're owned by Disney, and Disney's run by Wall Street. And big companies make changes. You're just a name on a tote board at big corporations because you have to appease the stockholders. And so are the Atlanta Braves, as their own standalone entity, as they get swapped out by Liberty Media, going to have to make sure to pacify the stockholders? That's the question. And the common fan, like you and I, if we want, I'm not a Braves fan, but if I wanted to, I could buy stock now in the Atlanta Braves. You're a Braves fan, you could own a piece of the Atlanta Braves. So will that be as worthless as a stock option of the Green Bay Packers? And is this just a way to artificially generate revenue, a money grab, snatch some extra cash I'm asking for a fan. I'm asking for a fan. And we're going to monitor the situation, but the positive, there is a positive on this, is that we're going to get even more of the nitty-gritty. Baseball, like all businesses, are very hush-hush when it comes to the actual finances. You don't really know. Now, we know a lot about the NFL because of the Green Bay Packers. We know a lot about the Atlanta Braves and baseball because of the Liberty Media financial filings a couple years ago, how much money the Braves generated in revenue, for example, when they won the World Series a couple years back. But now we're going to get even more information, in theory, and that's good. How much mucho dinero exactly do the teams get from the national TV contracts and from the merchandise and all that inside baseball, how profitable these teams are, which I'm sure is very exciting for the people that are on the union side in baseball.